First race in Berlin for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY is underway. Jimenez is having to defend from Foster, who's going to get run out into the wall there. This is the fight. Alice Powell put the inside of Gregory Seguers, and they have side-to-side contact. Brave stuff from Evans. Jimenez tries to hold on around the outside.
He's going to do it.
Here's Bueno. What a dominant drive. He is back, absolutely dominant in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY with a victory in the first race in Berlin.
What a return to racing. Welcome to the sweltering German capital city of Berlin. We are in the iconic Tempelhof Airport, just a few miles from the city centre, and this is the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY Lockdown Showdown. This is race 2, but before we move on to race 2, we should definitely talk about race 1. We kicked off in style. Reigning champion Sergio Jimenez sits at top of the championship table. However, he did not get on top of the podium yesterday. Oh no. Simon Evans managed to close the gap at the top to 2 points. Bueno made an awesome return to racing, picking up the mantle where he left off in Berlin, picking up a consecutive victory here in the German capital. However, there is a newcomer. We should talk about Nick Foster, throwing the cat amongst the pigeons, stirring the pot. It's all heating up to be an awesome finale to the championship. Now, as we know, in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY, qualifying is really important. Let's take a look at what happened earlier on today.
The cars headed out for their second qualifying session of the week to compete for their grid positions. With no time to practice since their race yesterday, every lap in this 45-minute session was crucial. Sergio Jimenez came out of the block setting fast laps early on, but it was Bueno who once again mastered this reverse layout of the Tempelhof track. It was a battle of the Southern Hemisphere as Aussie Nick Foster and Kiwi Simon Evans fought over P3. With the Australians seizing the position and losing a wing mirror in the process. RAN Racing Team Germany driver Alice Powell was unable to improve from P5, while VIP driver Ollie Webb completes the third row of the grid. For the pros, Fahad Al-Ghassabi takes another pole as he continues his hunt for his first series title. So we'll see another front row lockout from the Brazilians to kick off round 5 of this lockdown showdown.
Amanda, yesterday really teed us up perfectly for the remaining 6 races. It was awesome. Let's talk first of all about our reigning champion Sergio Jimenez. Didn't make it onto the podium. No. However, I will continue. Apologies.
I don't know if you're talking.
Newcomer Nick Foster really getting in the mix.
I know. I mean, we've got to talk about Sergio. Of course, all drivers want to go into any type of break leading a championship. The downside of that is that, of course, it means that everybody has got you in their sights. Now, Sergio really struggled yesterday. Obviously, Nick came in. Now, it's interesting also when you get a new driver, particularly of Nick's caliber, coming into a championship, because traditionally, what happens is everybody starts to know their place. It's a bit like a school playground, if you like, with a bunch of toddlers. But everybody knows their place, and so nobody's going to go around the outside of Sergio Jimenez because they know he's Sergio Jimenez. You get a new guy coming in like Nick, who's like, why can't I go around the outside of Sergio? So there was a little bit of love lost between those two at the start of the race. But Kaka, of course, you've got to remember, this guy missed the first 2 races in Saudi Arabia, came into the second event, third race in Mexico, only came 7th, so didn't score many points. The man is on a mission. Yesterday, from pole position all the way to the checkered flag, he took all the points that were going, all the top points that were going. So yes, he is the man that everybody's now got to really chase down in this race.
And now he's got back-to-back wins in Berlin, and he's sat on pole position again. So he could be 3 wins in a row here in Berlin. Looking
at the splits, in fact, from qualifying, it really looks like he has got all 3 sectors of this track absolutely nailed in. Everybody else was losing time on the 3rd sector, the wiggly bit, and then round that endless final corner. He, on the other hand, just had that perfectly. I think Nick lost about 3/10 in that. So yeah, he is the man that everybody is going to be trying to beat. Of course, we can't not talk about Sergio. Sergio has the slimmest of margins now, only 2 points, with Simon Evans absolutely chomping at his heels. So Simon is going to look at capitalising on a very similar event to what happened in yesterday's race. Fingers crossed for him today.
It's going to be interesting to see how Simon starts a fight back, because he has narrowed the gap, but you could say he narrowed the gap because Sergio had a bad race.
No, that's absolutely the way it goes, but that's the nature of street racing. And in fact, the nature of racing altogether. It's as much about you and your performance as it is about what is going on the track around you. Now, what Simon is going to hope is that there is a similar... Let's not forget that these two Brazilians, they may be teammates, but last year in Berlin, they had a little bit of a nudge and a rub at the end of the safety car as well. So these guys could just as easily take each other off.
It's going to be interesting watching Sergio fight, obviously, a good friend of his and a fellow teammate in Bueno, because we've seen it before. They do like driving into each other. They do like getting their elbows out, but it makes for great racing, let's be honest.
It does, and let's not forget attack mode. It means overtaking on circuits like this is so much easier for these guys because otherwise they're so evenly matched.
Now, the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY lineup is diverse and it's inclusive. Let's take a look at a very special driver on the grid, Takuma Aoki.
Every type of motorsport comes with its dangers. Unfortunately, some people do get injured racing either 2 or 4 wheels, and in some cases those injuries stop them from racing again. When we first launched the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY, we wanted to showcase electric vehicles racing in the heart of city centres, but we also wanted to make an inclusive race series that was open to absolutely everybody.
So I am Takuma Aoki. I came from Japan, Tokyo. In 1998, I had a crash with motorcycle. I cannot move my legs, but are now still racing. Electric car is very good for the future, for paraplegia. It is a difficult race for me in Mexico because I thought I'm not so experienced for the electric car, so I'm lucky man.
Oh, here comes Takuma, who kept it out of the wall. Nicely done. Great drive.
eTROPHY is so fun to drive. Then so I using a hand drive system, and the left hand is always braking, and axle is a lever.
There's Takuma Aoki, and this is how he drives.
That handle that you're looking at with his left hand, he pushes and that applies the same amount of brake pressure that you would normally apply through your foot. And then when he pulls the lever towards him, that is applying the accelerator.
Every race I want to get podium, but it is very difficult. Here is barely, so I want to get podium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more time. なんだっけ?
A superb addition to the lineup here at the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Now then, earlier on, after qualifying, Amanda caught up with a handful of our drivers.
Well, Kaka, you seem to be having the dream lockdown showdown so far because, again, you've qualified on P1 for race 5.
Yeah, P1 again, no? It's second race, total 7 race. It's, my challenge is only in the beginning, but so far so good.
Now, yesterday, obviously, you've now got a feel of what some of the new guys on the track are going to be like. Is there anyone in particular you're going to be looking in your mirrors for?
Still Jimenez, because Jimenez lead the championship and go fast all the time. I know it's made a bad start yesterday, but always a quick driver. Look behind for Forster, for Jimenez and Evans, but Jimenez lead the championship. Is the guy is going in front of everybody.
So Sergio, P2 again. Are you frustrated, particularly after what happened in yesterday's race?
No, I mean, I improved my time and closed the time between Kaka. he's doing very well here in this track as last year. So my car is not not adapted in this track. I changed a lot from the practice from yesterday for today. I improved, but I didn't reach what I want yet. So I need to keep doing changing to reach where I want.
Okay, so you think you've got the pace, you're in the same position as yesterday, and you've got Sergio to pass again. What are we likely to see?
Well, pretty much the same from me, and just hopefully less of him driving me into the fence, to be honest. That wasn't as kind as, you know, I'd potentially be, but anyway, he learned his lesson and hopefully he gets it sorted.
Clyde, you're definitely riding the crest of the wave at the moment. You're again P1 in Pro-Am. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, feeling really confident. I feel like I lost a few positions since yesterday compared to the pros. So I want to see where I'm losing that time and try to make it up in the race today.
But in terms of the Pro-Am Championship, you look like you've got this sorted.
Yeah, I think the most important thing this week is going to be being consistent, keeping the car in good shape and making sure I finish strong.
So it is time for the second race in Berlin. Looking forward to this one, and we have got a 25-minute plus 1 lap race coming up with Caca Bueno on pole position. Sergio Jimenez second, Nick Foster third, Simon Evans fourth, Alice Powell in fifth. Good to see Alice Powell back on the pace after struggling a little bit yesterday, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this race unfolds, because it was pretty action-packed. Round 1 yesterday. Don't forget, we've got Super Sunday coming up in a couple of days' time. Still 6 more races to come around this reverse Tempelhof circuit. Amanda Stretton has now joined me in the commentary box. Amanda, we saw some good racing here yesterday. Plenty of overtaking into especially turns 2, 3, 4 and down the back straight.
I just think we saw plenty of overtaking. Yeah, it was an absolutely stonking race yesterday, and I'm really looking forward to what happens today. There's no love lost on that grid, let me tell you.
Yeah, some of those interviews were a bit feisty, weren't they? Attack mode down there at turn 5, then you come down the back straight through the left, right at 6 and 7, hairpin left at 8 and 9, and then loop back around turn 10 and out onto the start, finish straight once more. That's a lap of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY Berlin circuit, 2.355 kilometers. Pole position is Caca Bueno. He is 4th in the championship, quite a long way off the leaders, but we'll see whether another win can pull him further up the order. Second is the championship leader, Sergio Jimenez. He's got a 3-point advantage over Simon Evans. The mix up in that is Nick Foster in 3rd place. And there we've got behind him Simon Evans in 4th position. And then we've got behind them Alice Powell. Like I say, a good performance in qualifying from Alice Powell after being quite a way adrift yesterday. Ollie Webb in his second race in the series. He's in the VIP guest car there, finished 5th yesterday, starting 6th on the grid today. Then we've got behind him Gregory Sagaz, the French racer for Jaguar China Racing. And then we've got Fahad Al-Ghassabi, who is first in the Pro-Am class for Saudi Racing, and he has kind of got one hand on that title already. Takuma Aoki, 24th on the grid, and Alberto Baptista is 10th on the grid. Sorry, Aoki's 9th on the grid rather than 24th on the grid. His number is 24. Baptista is 10th, and Paul Spooner completes the 11 cars that are about to go racing. Fascinated to see what happens here, and will we see more aggression from Nick Foster, because it was the outside line at turn 2 where he made the move yesterday. You wonder if Jimenez is going to be really alert to that.
He's going to be alert, and I have absolutely no doubt that there is going to be fireworks.
So the car's about to pull forward into position.
You see the concentration there, it's hot, it's really hot on the grid as well, and they really don't have much of a chance to get any of their tyres or brakes up to temperature, having just left the hangar, come straight onto the circuit at the top corner, at the last corner there. So everything is cold going into that blind right-hand first corner.
So the car's about to pull forward. Another 6 races about to get underway.
It's horrible sitting in the car when you're waiting for those lights.
Yeah, and then the long, long wait before the actual start lights about to come.
Looks like someone's... Ah, yes, they're not quite in their correct grid positions, just moving forwards a little bit now.
Everybody in place. The second race in Berlin, the fifth round, sorry, of the season, about to get underway. That's the view from on board with Alice Powell, looking down towards the first corner. Cacabueno it is who's starting on pole position. There's the green flag from the back of the field. Immediately, the lights are coming on. Two of them are, anyway.
I wonder if there's a problem with the lights.
Just wait for a moment. The lights went green. We had the green flag wave from the back of the field. And now we wait for all 5 lights to go out. And the race is underway, down towards turn 1. Good start from Cacabueno. Again, pretty line astern. If anything, it's Gregory Seguers who's got the best start. He's going to get up past Ollie Webb. Immediately on the attack goes Nick Foster to the outside. Jimenez, tried to... I think he might have blocked Foster off there a little bit intentionally. Foster now is going side by side with Simon Evans on the run down to turn 2.
It definitely looked like Sergio was preempting a move from Nick Foster there, but now it looks like he's going to be losing out to Evans.
Yep, he's still in that 3rd place at the moment, is Foster. Contact already between the two of them. Foster, unsurprisingly, wasn't particularly happy with Jimenez's very rude driving yesterday. Karma came to get Jimenez and he didn't manage to hold the place. But we'll see how quickly Foster can get on the back, because if it wasn't for that damage yesterday, he had a real chance of fighting Cacabueno for the race win. But then he started to drop back as the race progressed. Bueno leads, Jimenez 2nd, Foster 3rd, Evans 4th, Powell 5th. Webb, Seguers, Agasebi, Aoki and Spooner the top 10. Spooner's got ahead of Adalberto Baptista, and Spooner is now defending from him and holds on to 10th place at the moment, coming now into the 2 left-handers at 8 and then 9, and then out onto the start-finish straight again in a moment. But it's very much the top 3 that are breaking away just a little bit over Simon Evans in 4th place, and Jimenez still running in 2nd, Ollie Webb there in 6th, so Seguers didn't actually manage to make that move stick despite a good start. But Bueno over the line, leading at the end of lap 1.
That last section is where Cacabueno definitely seems to have got himself and the car totally dialed in to this track and was really dominant yesterday, and also today in qualifying as well. Looking at the split times, they're very, very close indeed. But even now, Caca looks like he's just got a tiny bit of legs against Sergio Jimenez and just pulling out of it.
Ollie Webb making a move on Alice Powell and getting through into 5th position. So a nice late move from Webb, and he takes 5th place away from Powell.
Not sure she was ready for that.
Indeed. And Powell now will fall into the clutches of Gregory Seguers. Fahad Al-Ghassabi coming with them as they come down into turn 5 now. There's attack mode on the exit of turn 5. 2 uses of attack mode in this race. 2 minutes apiece. And we're on board with Powell now in behind Ollie Webb in their battle over 5th position.
A nice little gap there for Ollie. He was disappointed with his performance yesterday. He was actually sort of hoping that he might just get on the podium, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him making some further moves today. And as I say that, there he goes.
Yep, that was his move on Alice Powell for 5th position. And Webb then will try and pull away, and if he can, join the Evans, Foster, Jimenez, Bueno train in front. 22 minutes left on the clock. Across the line come the Brazilians, separated by just 0.3 of a second. Simon Evans sets the fastest lap of the race on that lap. The top 4 separated by 1.6 seconds. Bueno turns in a little earlier into turn 1 compared to Jimenez. Is that going to give Jimenez a bit of an advantage down into 2? No, not close enough this time around for a look. But obviously those 2 Brazilians have raced each other hard and fair for a lot of years. Actually, they've been teammates in the Brazilian Stock Car Series. They've been teammates in Brazilian GT. They've been teammates in Blancpain GT Series when they raced at BMWs a few years ago. Lovely liveried cars they were, along with Alain Coder. But anyway, this is a replay of the start.
In some cases like that, it's better the devil you know. It's good to have a teammate. You really know what they're going to do, what kind of moves they are going to make, what circuits they're particularly strong on.
Now, what did Jimenez do here? Did he? I think he got on the brakes here and intentionally blocked off.
Exactly. I think he moved over to the right-hand side immediately to block off Nick making any type of move.
But I think he doesn't accelerate out the corner. I think that's the weird part. Look, he goes to the outside. Jimenez goes to the outside too. And and then just suddenly randomly slows, and Foster goes into the back of him. He was much out wider. Let's see it on board with Foster. This will be interesting because he got a better start than the two Brazilians in front.
He did. It's important to remember as well that the marbles that are going to be out on the circuit from the Formula E cars going around a little bit earlier are going to be very unstable. So if you do go a bit wide, you've also got cold brakes, cold tyres, and the marbles to contend with. It's possible he just lost a bit of grip.
This is the view from Ollie Webb in the VIP car. Keep your eyes to the right because Gregory Seguez is going to appear any moment. Or maybe he doesn't quite get up alongside enough, and in fact Webb sends it in very deep and late to the outside. Couldn't quite get on the power enough to get ahead of the RAN Racing entry of Alice Powell. 20 minutes plus a lap to go. Bueno leading, Jimenez second, Foster third. Evans has caught the back of them, and Evans is right on the back of Nick Foster now. Ollie Webb in 5th position.
Having a bit of a race on his own, it looks like. Alice just doesn't seem to have got the car and her setup in the right place at the moment. I know the Brazilians, they like their car set up in a particular way. Of course, all the data is shared out amongst the drivers, so people can see the way cars are set up. It just looks like Alice hasn't quite either got the setup as she likes it, or she has the setup, she just hasn't quite got her head around how that car is going to turn in. Because, of course, the cars are heavy, being a battery car. They're light cars, but obviously the battery makes them heavy. Therefore, to get them to really turn in, you've got to make the car fairly unstable so that you can actually get that bite at the beginning of the turn-in.
At the moment, it's Simon Evans that looks the most racy. In fact, he might be having a go into 2 here. He's got good drive out of the corner. There goes Bueno, but keep your eyes back for the look at the hairpin. No, not this time.
Quite an early turn in there. I don't know if that was maybe just the camera angle that we were looking at overhead. Looks like he might just be having a little peek in his mirrors, just making sure that Sergio knows he needs to stay behind him.
18.5 minutes plus a lap to go. There goes Simon Evans. So he's first into attack mode. And it's worth pointing out, actually, that when they're this close, attack mode is going to be pretty important. I think Foster, for example, is close enough to Jimenez and Bueno that he could end up in front of the Brazilian drivers when they take attack mode, or if he takes attack mode, or whatever.
Exactly. Attack mode makes a huge difference when you're racing cars that are so evenly matched. That was one of the issues yesterday. It's really hard for the drivers to actually make that decision about when they should be taking attack mode, because all they can see is what's in their headlight, in front of them, and what's in their rear view mirror. They have got no contact with the pits and anybody else either. So they've got to make that decision all by themselves. It's therefore, they don't necessarily know, drivers who are coming up behind them, if they've had attack mode, if they've made passes. It looks like these two are probably going to go, I'd guess that these two are going to mirror what each other does, but hopefully with a 2-minute attack mode and a 20% boost on power, I was just about to say, Simon Evans is going to be catching the back of them, having lost time in arming and activating, and he is lining Nick Foster up now for a pass. I would not be surprised.
17 minutes left on the clock, plus 1 lap, of course. And Evans will want to get past Foster as quickly as possible, and he'll have a good chance here coming out onto the back straight.
There he goes. Nick's heavily defending on the inside there. But Simon, with that 20% extra boost of power, is just making that move look pretty pedestrian. We've got 1 minute left. It'll be interesting to see how far up behind Sergio Jimenez Simon can actually bring that car.
16.5 minutes left.
Definitely a race of 2 halves. These top 4 are pulling away from everybody else.
Now, Evans is in a decent position here, because if Bueno and or Jimenez take attack mode, he's going to get ahead of them. He'll then have to do a lot of defending, no doubt about that, but he'll have the opportunity to be in front and have track position for a little bit. When is Nick, if I'm Nick Foster, I'm taking my first one on this lap. Quite, that seems like quite a clear decision to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
We should put you in, Jack.
We should, yeah, we should put me in. I don't think I would be... Can I do a race in... Why can't I do a race?
Of course you can do a race.
Dario will commentate with you.
If it's up to me, I'd put you in the car. Have you got a license?
No. What do I need? An international C?
You need an international C.
How quickly can I get an international C?
It takes a bit of time. Yeah, you start off with
Look,
a national...
This is why I should be in there, because I'd have gone in attack mode.
You start with a national B if you've got a UK license.
Oh, and then I've got to do 8 races and get my signatures.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got time to do it by...
No, Dario is actually sitting in here alongside us, and he's looking mortified and
Dario, can
shaking
I
everything.
I reckon maybe the ADAC rules are different. Maybe the ADAC will just give me a license.
Maybe. But if it was up to me, I'd let you have a go.
Well, thank you, Amanda. So these top 4 right together still. Bueno, Jimenez, Evans, Foster. And at the moment, Evans is the only driver to have used attack mode.
And used to his advantage, having gained a place in doing so.
About 1.3 seconds a lap attack mode is worth. 1 to 1.3, something like that.
Now, like you, if I was Nick Foster, I would be looking to use attack mode. Yesterday, when I spoke to him after the race, I asked him if he had a strategy for it, and he wasn't really sure. I think it's quite difficult. You've got so much going on when you're actually driving a race car, particularly a car that you're not familiar with. And I think on a street circuit as well, it's definitely focusing the mind, because those walls are very concrete and very close. To actually having to start thinking about strategy as well, and it's very close to the wall there on the exit. It's quite a challenge. You've got a lot going on. It's not easy actually trying to think about your strategy at the same time as keeping the car on the track and looking in your mirrors.
I'd commentate as well, to be clear. I'd have a little radio mic on, and I'd still commentate on the race. Right, through attack mode goes Seguers and Algasebi. Algasebi just loses out to Takuma Aoki. He's going to have the speed advantage, though, down the back straight, so he should be able to get back in front of the Japanese racer. The two go side by side.
Takuma it didn't matter that Algasebi has got his attack mode on. Takuma was not going to give him any room there. He's going to keep on defending and see how long he could keep him behind.
Very close, as Spooner's having a good race here. He's still in the mix. Yesterday he kind of dropped off the back a little, which is unsurprising, but he has managed to stay in the mix a little bit here, which is impressive stuff. 13 minutes plus a lap to go.
Yeah, Paul Spooner, a last-minute substitution for the Saudi racing squad, having troubles with drivers getting permits to travel internationally during these times. So yes, very last minute. In fact, at one point, Paul Spooner was trying to borrow my hands device, which was interesting because it almost throttled him in the process, because he's 6'4" and I'm not.
You brought your hands device here?
I did.
Are you racing?
I'm not. I wish I was, actually.
Why don't you do a race?
Well, yeah, let's have a word.
You have the word.
Well,
you're the important one
here.
Right, Simon Evans, still the only one to use attack mode. Now, Nick Foster on that last lap, he dropped back a little bit, but last lap wasn't too slow, but he's suddenly found himself 1.4 seconds off the back of those front 3.
Yesterday he had this under tray flapping, and actually the same thing happened to him in qualifying today. So they weren't quite sure. He said he hadn't hit a curb or gone over anything hard, but of course that's what they all say. I wonder if there's perhaps something else going on that's causing him to just drop back a little bit. Doesn't look like there's any damage though today.
Potentially, unless he brushed the wall in qualifying or something like that, and that is now coming back to reap its revenge. Bueno, Jimenez and Evans then for the lead.
Simon is right up on the tail of these two, and I think really used his first attack mode to his advantage, because now the moment either or both of them actually move offline to activate, neither of them have done so yet, he's going to be in the advantage of probably being able to make at least one, if not 2 positions up, and then take the lead of the race.
Unless Foster tried to activate attack mode on the last lap and missed the loop or something like that. Here he goes again. Let's see whether he activates it this time around. He does. I don't know whether he tried to activate it last time and missed it, but that might be an explanation. Ollie Webb enters attack mode as well. 11 minutes plus a lap to go. We don't think he did try on that last lap, so it is just a bit of a pace drop-off for Nick Foster. But then, and on that last lap, he lost another 3 tenths to the leaders. But it is very, very close. And Evans behind Jimenez, second and third here, are the title protagonists.
Only 2 points separating them at the moment. So it really played into Simon Evans's hands yesterday, Sergio's misfortune. He'll be looking to capitalise on it. In the meantime, Sergio Jimenez is the reigning champion, and what better kudos is there to be the only champion of Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY.
On board with Alice Powell in 7th spot, half a second behind Gregory Seguers. Now, Seguers has used his attack mode to pass Powell. Powell hasn't used an attack mode yet. 10 minutes plus a lap to go, so we're well over halfway through the race, and the two Brazilians have still yet to use either of their attack modes. Nick Foster's just at the fastest first sector. There we go, say that one quickly. of the race so far, so he's flying now, and as a result he's going to get in front of Jimenez when Jimenez rejoins, and they're both in attack mode now, so Jimenez is not going to have overspeed coming down into turn 6 and 7, so this could really harm Jimenez's hopes of staying in front of Simon Evans. Foster moving over, maybe a little bit of a nudge coming down into 6 and 7, but this is really harming Jimenez's race because he's not able to use the extra power that he's got because he's getting held up behind Nick Foster. This is good news for Evans.
It's brilliant news for Simon Evans. It couldn't play into his hands any better than it is now. But of course, Sergio Jimenez has an extra 3 minutes of attack mode now, whereas it has now finished for Nick Foster. So, but still blocking. Really
there's contact
driving
on the run down into turn 2. Jimenez is definitely getting turned around. Foster was not letting Jimenez past after their wheel banging yesterday. It's not going to be over yet. Here comes Jimenez to the inside. Foster doesn't quite close the door in time, and as a result, Jimenez gets through turn 2 up into 2nd place. He's still on attack mode, so he'll be able to drive off the corner, but this has wrecked Jimenez's race, and this could be giving Simon Evans the lead of the championship.
Yeah, I think Nick Foster finally bailed out of that corner, just giving Sergio a little bit of room. He knew that he still had plenty of attack mode left, and it was going to happen sooner or later. But defending, my goodness, making that Jaguar I-PACE even wider than it already is.
8 minutes plus a lap to go. Cacabueno leading the way, a second ahead of Simon Evans. Now finally, Jimenez has got to the back of Evans. Evans defends, and if he holds on here, Simon Evans... Oh, Jimenez to the outside! That is impressive stuff, if he can pull that move off, and he can. Nicely done from the Brazilian. Did not see that one coming. Evans kind of defended the inside, but not the inside for the actual corner that was coming up, which was a right-hander. So it's a tricky one to defend coming down into 6 and 7. Jimenez runs out of attack mode now. Cacabueno's still got 2 to use. Oh, Evans will be frustrated. If he could have kept him behind for another 10 seconds, he would have had that track position.
He would, but they've both still got 2 attack modes to use, and of course, now Sergio Jimenez is in front of Simon, so Simon can decide if he wants to mirror what Sergio is doing or optimize. But look at this replay. These two are fired up after yesterday's race, looking for a repeat, and Nick Foster just was not going to give way into that first corner.
Well, Jimenez yesterday drove Foster into the wall. Today he's trying to squeeze Foster, and Foster's holding his line and saying no.
In fairness to Nick, where is he supposed to go? He's on the inside of the corner. He can't disappear.
Look, Jimenez has had questionable racecraft for the last 2 years, so it's not a huge surprise to see that going on, and Bueno's missed attack mode. Cacabueno has not activated attack mode, I don't think. He's missed the loops, and as a result, he might have just lost the chance to win this afternoon.
I was just about to say, this race is playing into Cacabueno's hands. The battle behind means that he has just been able to pull away, even though everybody else has had one of their attack modes. Having tried to activate and failed just then, he has just blown it.
So if it stays like this, with the gap at the top of the standings, 2 points.
Oh gosh, you're going to ask us to do maths?
No, I can do the maths. It means that Jimenez will extend his lead to 7 points. If they swap around, if Evans can take the lead, then he will take the lead of the championship. That was a replay of Powell, and who was that? Takuma Aoki, I think, not giving Powell any room when she came back from attack mode. So Jimenez leads. This is Alice Powell trying to get past Takuma Aoki. Powell is in attack mode, so should be able to get past down the back straight. But Jimenez leads, 4 tenths ahead of Evans, 6 tenths ahead of Bueno. Powell goes for it into turn 2. And that's a fairly straightforward move in the end.
Takuma giving her plenty of space there. Really decent drive, quite fair from him. I think he knew that she was going to be making the move, so decided just to allow the space.
Right, Bueno hooks it up this time then. So he drops to 4th position behind Foster, Evans and Jimenez, but he's now in attack mode finally. The first of 2, and he's going to have to use them just back-to-back basically here, because there's 5 minutes plus a lap to go. They're 4 minutes long, these attack modes, so
2 minutes long.
Sorry, 2 minutes long, these attack modes, so it's going to be a tricky one.
He's definitely going to have to, well, 1 lap and then reactivate, I think.
5 minutes plus a lap to go. Jimenez leading, 6 tenths of a second ahead of Evans in second. And there is the look to the outside from Bueno. And he's going to cruise past Foster under braking. Goes in pretty deep into turn 1, gets it in there in the end though, and will now charge and try and catch Evans and Jimenez.
I think Kaka's going to have his work cut out for him. Even with attack mode, the battle between Sergio and Simon Evans is raging, but the last thing Kaka wants is to blow the opportunity of taking some points, albeit not the full sweep as he was after. There's an element that says sometimes you're just going to have to just wait and see what's going on in front of you and hope that perhaps Sergio Jimenez and Simon Evans, in their vigour, take each other off.
4 minutes plus 1 lap to go. So Jimenez, Evans, Bueno, Foster all have an attack mode remaining. Alice Powell didn't look like she'd hooked that up, and she hasn't.
Adalberto Baptista doesn't look like he's had an attack mode yet.
I think Adalberto has used them both, by the looks of it.
Oh yes, there's none left, beg your pardon.
Yeah. Jimenez leading, 3.5 minutes plus a lap to go. When are they going to... Now Bueno's on the back of them, and they've all got 1 attack mode to use. This is going to be... And they've all got to use it pretty much this lap, if not the next lap.
Yeah, so they either have 1 lap and activate, or use it all now. It's going to be interesting to see how the strategy is split, what decisions everybody makes.
Surely Bueno has to go for it now, whatever happens, because then he'll have the overspeed when the other 2 use it. He'll be able to catch up to the back of them before the other 2 then activate theirs if they don't do it immediately. Or maybe Bueno just does the opposite of what these guys do to try and mix it up. But I think whatever happens, Bueno's got to go for attack mode on this lap, surely. Onto the brakes, into the right-hander of turn 5. Evans goes for it, Bueno doesn't. Interesting.
At this stage in the race, I think I would be surprised if people don't actually activate that. Yes, Evans did. I thought for a moment he hadn't actually managed to activate. You've got to arm the car a couple of seconds before you actually drive through those loops in order to activate as well. That's one of the problems we saw earlier in the season in Saudi Arabia, not activating the car in time.
Is Bueno the blocker here?
Yeah.
That's what's happening with the Team Brazil drivers, is that Bueno does not activate, and as a result can hold up Simon Evans until Jimenez activates on this next time around. Well, they could do next lap or possibly the next lap after that. Here they come across the line. Bueno covers the inside, Evans to the outside. He's got 20% more power than Bueno, but I don't think he's going to get all the way around the outside there.
No, Kaka is definitely pushing him wide and making him work for that position if he wants it. Oh, he might just get the cut back here and swing back round and... yes, I think he's now passed.
Nicely done from Simon Evans in the end there, round the outside. It's cost him a bit of time, but he's still in attack mode.
But Kaka now is going to have to activate.
Correct. And so Bueno is out of the running. It's now just Jimenez versus Evans for a minute plus a lap. So I think we're going to have 2 to go at the end of this one. Does Jimenez do it now? Yes, he does. Evans moves into the lead. Bueno goes through it as well. Jimenez activates it, as does Bueno. That's always the stressful thing. If you leave it to the last minute and then for whatever reason it doesn't work, you don't hook it up, then you're done.
The stewards do have ultimate say on that, and they can see if you've activated the car and attempted to get attack mode by going through the loops, and if it's deemed that you've made your best efforts, you just missed it, they will. You don't get the same penalties as you do in Formula E.
So Evans is out of attack mode now, with 30 seconds plus 1 lap to go. So this is the penultimate lap.
It's almost the worst time for Simon Evans to lose attack mode when he knows that Sergio Jimenez is breathing down his neck and wants to take that top step of the podium. Also got 3 minutes left. Still a reasonable gap. Missed the apex there, went in a tiny bit wide. Isn't going to help it. Look, he's looking at his right-hand mirror. You can see him there. He knows exactly where Sergio is going to try and pass him, and defending very well.
Nah, he's got it here. Jimenez gets the run out of turn 2, up the inside into 3. That's the move for the championship lead extension. That is going to be 7 points clear for Sergio Jimenez. Can Cacabueno make it a Brazilian 1-2? That's going to be the next question over the remaining lap and a half, because he's going to be in attack mode for a little longer. Seguers is still in 6th position, so made the move on Alice Powell and has managed to keep the position on Alice Powell. Here's a look at the replay. Evans defended hard and valiantly into turn 2, but that just allowed Jimenez to get the drive out. And a fairly straightforward pass in the end from the Brazilian. Here's a fight between Ollie Webb and Nick Foster. So Webb's got ahead of Nick Foster, so there's something going on with Nick Foster in the races. He's absolutely rapid in qualifying. He's rapid in the first part of the race. But then he drops away, so he's now behind Ollie Webb, who's up into 4th position, the Michelin VIP driver. And Bueno is out of attack mode now on the final lap, so I think Evans is going to hold on to this 2nd place. How many stories does Cacabueno have of should have won the race? Be it Rome when he crashed out, be it Paris when he crashed out, be it here when he doesn't activate attack mode in time. So unlucky, I suppose, Cacabueno. But Jimenez is going to take the win. He's going to extend his championship lead to 7 points. 1.2 seconds, the gap between them. Into the left and the right at 6 and 7. And Jimenez is not going to be close enough. Ooh. Evans thought he might be there, didn't he? And despite being 2 car lengths back, went pretty defensive. Bueno, I thought, might give Evans a little bit of a nudge. He's trying to nudge him out of the final corner. He's not close enough. It's a 3rd win of the season for Sergio Jimenez. He extends his lead at the top of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY series to 7 points. Evans finishes 2nd. Cacabueno should have doubled up, but unable to. He finishes in 3rd place and a strong 4th position for Oliver Webb. The 2nd best VIP performance we've had. There comes Seguers over the line in 6th, Powell in 7th, Fahad Al-Ghassabi wins Pro-Am. Incident involving Jimenez and Foster will be investigated after the race. I don't see a penalty particularly for it. It's just more rude driving from Jimenez, rather than, you know, anything that's necessarily penalty worthy. But Sergio Jimenez takes the win. 3rd win of the season. 1 in Diriyah, 1 in Mexico, and now has 1 in Berlin. And Simon Evans drops behind in the championship, and I think Jimenez has his teammate to thank, you know. Cacabueno defending hard on Simon Evans really gave Jimenez the advantage to stretch his legs and take the win and wave to the marshals on his way back in after an entertaining Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY race. Here's a look at the results after 19 laps of racing. Sergio Jimenez taking the win, 1.4 seconds ahead of Simon Evans. Cacabueno in 3rd. Ollie Webb, good result in 4th place in the Jaguar VIP car. Nick Foster and Gregory Seguer in 5th and 6th. Fahad Al-Ghassabi, 8th for the Saudi racing team, winning Pro-Am. Paul Spooner did finish ahead of Adalberto Baptista and only 4 seconds off the back of Takuma Aoki, so a good drive from Paul Spooner in that race. But Sergio Jimenez takes the win and extends his championship lead. So the cars return to the pit lane. We'll be hearing from our front runners fairly soon, when they speak to Amanda and Vernon. Alice Powell returns to the huge hangar where the Jaguar cars are living, over in the Jaguar paddock. Sergio Jimenez parks up on the podium. Very dramatically, right in front of the podium steps. But I think he was meant to park a little bit further along. There we go. So Jimenez returns victorious. And that is an excited Brazilian. A shout of joy from the reigning champion. We've still got 5 races to go. A lot can change when we go to the traditional circuit on Saturday and Sunday. 2 races for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY on Super Sunday. And then the lockdown showdown concludes next week. A race on Wednesday, a race on Thursday to decide the champion. Who will be the next champion? Will it be Sergio Jimenez back to back? Well, this is what it does to the championship standings. A 7-point advantage for Jimenez at the top. Simon Evans in 2nd place. Caca Bueno in 3rd, dropping away. It's very much a 2-horse race now for the title. Alice Powell in 4th, Nick Foster closing in on Powell for 4th in the standings. Gregory Seguers has picked up 11 points now, the young Frenchman. And Fahad Al-Ghassabi is really performing strongly in the Pro-Am class. 77 points, Yachi Chang not racing. Adalberto Baptista up into 3rd, so he's looking to take 2nd place in the Pro-Am standings. Paul Spooner's got a chance of a top 3 finish as well. Mashbel Hajala not racing. Same is true of David Cheng and Ahmed Bin Kanan, who on their 1 races that they entered ended up with 0 points. But let's go down and hear from Sergio Jimenez, the race winner, the championship leader, with Vernon Kay.
Sergio, congratulations. Another victory, extending your lead at the top of the championship table. Another aggressive drive.
Well, I need to be aggressive as they are aggressive as me, with me. So it was a good race. The track changed a lot. The tires was worse than yesterday because it's hotter. So it was funny. The race was good. I think it was very difficult to manage the car, and attack mode, of course, make a difference, but give you a lot of power. And with slippery, it was difficult to drive and manage it. So, but it was good. I bring the car home, and with the victory, starting 2nd, fantastic.
With a few laps to go, really important your overtake over Simon Evans.
Yes, I mean, when I saw Kaká was not fast, I was pushing him a lot. I was a bit faster than him, but it was difficult to overtake. So I knew that should be in the attack mode, the decision, and I think Kaká didn't take. That's why.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Because I saw him passing, and he came back so fast. I said he didn't take, because it's a long way to do. So when he did that, I said, okay, now I can win the race, and I managed in my mind what I should do, keep the tires cool. Simon was good in some parts, but I managed it and bring the victory home.
We saw how important it is, this victory, to you by banging the roof of the car. Love that, Sergio. But you seem to have mastered more than any of the other drivers how to really finely tune this car.
Yes, I mean, we started the practice, seems okay, the car, but the track's getting rubber and rubber, and my car was getting worse and worse. Okay, it was fast, P2 was not bad, but I was struggling to drive, you know. and I didn't like that. And then I was finding the turning, studying a lot yesterday with my engineer, Neil, and Portugal is not here, but from mobile. And I said, okay, I need that, and let's find this. We have the history, so let's do that. So the quality did one small change, boom, I gained 1/10. I said, okay, this is the way. For the race, I did another, and then the car was there.
Perfect. And then we have 2 more races at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on the traditional Tempelhof track. How does that track suit you going the proper way round?
Well, it seems here Kaká has a good car, and
very good.
He adapted very well himself here. But I think his car is a bit better than mine in some parts.
As teammates and as very good friends, are you guys talking about the car and the track and the setups?
Yes,
but not giving too much away, obviously.
No, we do, but as I said, every car is building differently, always the same, but you have small issues, and when you fight for 1/10 or half a 10, you see the difference in there. And Kaká is one of the best drivers in Brazil, and it's good him with me because he pushes me all the time. I push him, and I saw that he was so tranquil, you know. Go in the park. I said it's impossible. So I tried to find this, and we use his data, understand where he putting the throttle, braking, and this is, I think, is the job of the driver when you have a strong driver beside you. And I did my homework.
Perfect. Congratulations once again, Sergio. Awesome, an awesome drive. Amanda.
Thanks very much, Vernon. Yes, Simon Evans, congratulations to you on second. You'll be disappointed, though, that it was Sergio in front of you on the top step, because you two are close for that championship. Just tell me how the race was.
Yeah, obviously, for me, it was a really good recovery. You know, starting fourth to finish second in eTROPHY is a really good result. But you know, I'm just a bit disappointed with my qualifying. You know, it was you know, I was pretty fast, sector 1, sector 2, but I was driving like an amateur in sector 3. So if I want to win this championship, I've got to do a better job at that. So I think I was the fastest car in the race then, but I've got to nail qualifying if I want to, you know, put a good challenge to this championship. But I think I can do that. I showed then I had really good pace.
Now, we saw in this race just how valuable attack mode is when it comes to overtaking, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I saw Kaká took it, and then it was quite close coming out, so I was expecting him to pass me up down there, but he didn't. So, yeah, really, really crucial, this attack mode. You know, it's such a benefit to your race, but you've got to use it wisely as well. I feel like I did that today, but I still made a few mistakes in the race that I really want to work on. But overall, to qualify fourth, come back and get a second result, yeah, I'm really happy.
Of course, we've got lots more racing still to come. Simon Evans, thank you very much. Thanks. Vernon.
Yes, Amanda, we do have lots more racing still to come, of course. One man who's put the car on pole position back-to-back. However, Sergio, Kaká, apologies. The victory today slipped through your fingers because you missed the attack mode.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened for me inside the car. I crossed the red and the blue line, but obvious, probably I make some mistake. I need to see the onboard to discover what the mistake and not make it again. I'm go happy with the car, and like yesterday, I tried to go easy with the tires, 5-6 laps, and after this, try to manage the race, put a little bit faster pace, like yesterday. And when I make the gap, I try to go to the attack mode, and I lost 2 positions, but easy to recover the position with attack mode. But in off attack mode, I lost these 2 positions. I'm starting a fight with Evans, and finish 3 is not bad. But after make a pole and then in the race day yesterday, now I'm a little bit pissed off. But okay, look forward, and we have more 5 races.
Okay. Thank you, Kaká. Appreciate that. Apologies for the language, of course. Amanda.
Tension's definitely running high. Fahad Al-Ghazabi, it looks like you've got one hand on that Pro-Am trophy, but I guess your object isn't just to take home that trophy, it's really to just gain experience and learn from the pros.
Absolutely. I'm pretty happy with our performance today because I was able to stay a bit closer to Alison and Greg. I can tell we're losing a bit of time in Sector 3, so I know what we need to work on. Hopefully we can keep improving throughout the rest of the week.
Well, there's a lot more racing still to come. Plenty of opportunity for you to improve. Go and enjoy the podium ceremonies.
Thank you so much.
Jack, what can you see?
Well, let's see what I can see, shall we? I can see the Berlin circuit, and I think I'm about to see the podium presentations getting underway, and the winners will be out onto the podiums to spray the champagne, to enjoy the Brazilian national anthem again, coming up before too long. So we've got plenty more races to come, another 5 races still in this championship. And Jimenez has taken the lead, but it's worth remembering the second race on Sunday, on Super Sunday, is a reverse grid race of championship order. So whoever's leading the championship after Saturday is going to be starting at the back of the grid for the first race, for the second race on Sunday. So you don't want to be leading the championship. You don't want to be leading the championship going into the second race at Sunday, do you? I don't know. It's going to be, it depends how big your championship lead is. I suppose we'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be a real mix-up on that second race on Sunday. But out onto the top step of the podium is Sergio Jimenez. A 3rd win of the season for the Brazilian. And now the national anthem of Brazil. Sergio Jimenez, the reigning champion, victorious on the top step of the podium. The 36-year-old, born in Pierede in Sao Paulo state. Simon Evans receives his 2nd place trophy, and it's the winner's trophy for Sergio Jimenez. Extends his lead at the top of the championship to 7 points. And a really, really strong performance from Jimenez. The Pro-Am podium will happen now, then they'll all come back and rejoin on the podium for the celebration and the spraying of the champagne. But let's have a look back at the highlights of that 5th race of the season. Race 2 in Berlin got underway with a decent start from Nick Foster, who started in 3rd place on the grid, looked to the outside coming down into turn 1, and there was a bit of contact between him and Sergio Jimenez. There was already one little nudge there, then another little nudge there. And then it's going to be a fascinating battle up at the front, because Caca Bueno was pulling away and the top 4 were right together, but Foster started to struggle, as he did yesterday as the race progressed. Once we'd done 4 or 5 laps, his pace started to drop. Simon Evans activated attack mode. That put him in a strong position to get ahead of Foster. Bueno and Jimenez were running nose to tail. Simon Evans in there in 3rd, and you can see that Foster was starting to drop back. A couple of tenths of a second a lap, and when the lap times were so tight, that soon became fairly pronounced. There was a bit of contact here as Sergio Jimenez tried to go around the outside of Nick Foster. Those two had contact yesterday, and they had some more contact today. Jimenez then was in front of Evans as their various attack mode strategies played out. I think this is the replay again of Jimenez trying to go around the outside of Foster. Oh no, that was Caca Bueno pulling the same move, but didn't drive into Foster, so there was no contact. And then this was Jimenez fighting with Evans. Crucially, Caca Bueno had missed a attack mode activation, and Jimenez got in front and went on to take the victory and to take the checkered flag. An absolutely delighted Brazilian slams the roof of his car, and he extends his championship lead to 7 points. But it's not over. The celebrations might be underway for round 5, but we've still got 5 more races to come. This is only the halfway point in the season in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Sergio Jimenez leads it by 7 points, but we'll be back in 2 days' time on Saturday for the next round of the championship that Jimenez leads. We'll see you then.